Hello, yeah. Good day to you wherever you're watching from. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about another topic that relates to graduate school admission, and today's topic is very important. And today we'll be talking about referencing and writing a reference letter for your graduate school admission. So yeah, I'm excited to always talk about this because it's a very important topic. There's no graduate school application without referencing. So we should talk about reference letters. And before we talk about that, I always encourage you to watch my previous videos, which I'm going to help you. I always break my videos down into short single topic, singular topic that address specific topic concerning graduate school admission. So you want to watch my previous videos, other videos rather than this, so that you can grasp, the be in tune with the conversation we're having about graduate school applications. And we talked about writing SOP. I talked about how graduate school admission works in general. I talked about sending cold emails, contacting professors, and the likes of that. So you want to look for those videos and watch them. They'll help you. So today, let's go straight to the point. Let's talk about reference letters. Yeah, they are very important because there's no graduate school application without a reference letter. They always ask for it. So what should your reference letter look like? We're talking about the content of your reference letter. We should write it for you. The mistake you should not make, and yeah, so we're talking about this stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about to you about is about reference letter is yeah, you should know that it's very important, and it's a great determinant if you are going to get the admission or not, because the graduate admission committee takes this very seriously. So you want to make sure that you take this to your advantage. And I always tell people that this particular aspect of your graduate school application is in your hands. So you might have a low CGPA, or you might have or you might be disadvantaged in one specific area of your application. And this section is a place where you can actually leverage and take advantage of it to bolster your chances of getting your admission. So yeah, so let's get straight to the conversation. Reference letter, it's a simple letter that your that the admission committee requires you to submit as part of your application document. So it comes in various forms, and depending on the country you're applying to. So I have experience with almost all schools from different continents. So some schools will typically ask you to submit the names of your referees, and they will ask you to put their contact, their emails, and affiliations. Then they expect you to submit that in your application, and then they contact those people and ask them to submit a reference on your behalf. You don't know what they have submitted. Some schools will ask you if you want to have a waiver, that is, you don't want to see what your referee have submitted, or you can tick yes or no that you actually want to see it. So it depends. It comes in various forms. So let me talk about this for a minute. So once you type the name of your referee, you type the affiliation. That means the school they have, or the company they're working with. You submit that, then the school send an automatic email to the professor or whoever the reference is. It might not be a professor, it might be someone in the industry. So you submit that, and they send an email to the person notifying them that someone is requesting them to write a reference on your behalf. Then once that is done, they write the reference, and it becomes part of your application document. And another way is some schools ask you to upload the reference yourself. So in that case, your referee, that means the person that you want them to write a reference for you, write the reference for you, and then they send it to you. Then you upload it yourself. So whichever form it might come, and there are some instances where they send it to your referee. They send a link to your referee, and they expect them to just fill out a form on the school website. I think there are a couple of schools that does that. So the process is ranks from easy to difficult, as the case may be. So yeah, that's that about references, and that's the forms it takes. So let's quickly talk about choosing your referee. So this is a very important conversation, and you should know the gimmicks about choosing your referee. Choosing your referee is very important. You don't want to choose somebody that cannot talk well about your abilities or your capabilities, and then they reduce your chances of getting the admission. So you want to choose somebody who can talk very well about your academic abilities, can talk about your personality as a person, can talk about your work ethics, can talk about your past achievements, and a lot of other things that can actually bolster your chances of getting the admission. So choosing your referee, who should be your referee? I always advise people, before I talk about that, quickly, I would like to tell you a scenario. So you want to buy a car, and you are asking a doctor to give you advice on which car you should buy. It doesn't make sense. You should talk to a mechanic. That's how it works. Or you want to build a house, and you're asking a lawyer to tell you, what kind of house you should build. That doesn't make sense. You want to talk to an architect or an engineer. That's the way it works. So choosing your reference, you don't want to, if graduate school application is an academic position, so you should choose somebody who is an academic. That's a person that can advise the admission committee on why they should choose you, not somebody who is working in an industry. Someone who is working in an industry can only talk about your professional abilities, not your academic abilities. So if you want to choose a reference, you want to choose an academic, someone who is in academia, someone who has the experience, who can talk about the things that the graduate committee want to hear, and that's the way it works. So I'm not saying that you cannot choose somebody who is an industry professional. I'm not saying that. But this scenario is different for different people. So for example, you have 10 years work experience, you have 15 years working experience, you have 5 years working experience, and you have been more attuned to the industry than in the academic environment, and you want to go back to school. It makes sense for you to find a professional reference, an industry professional, to talk about your abilities, to write a reference for you. But it is always very important to also have a professor who can talk about your academic abilities. And I always encourage people to choose, it depends. The scenario differs for different people. So your supervisor, your thesis, undergraduate thesis supervisor, or your project supervisor, as the case may be, will be a perfect person because you're closer to the person, and the person can talk about your abilities in terms of research, in terms of coursework, in terms of your conduct in school, and many other things you've done. Or your academic advisor can, if you're close to the person, can talk about these things. And some people, I don't undermine the fact that some people don't have a healthy relationship with their academic supervisors, or their thesis supervisor, but you can also choose somebody who you are close to, maybe the department chair, the HOD, or any professor in the department that you're very close to. You can talk to the person to write a reference on your behalf, and that makes sense to do. So the underlying factor is choose somebody who have a good relationship with you and knows something little about you. And not little, I mean something much about you that can talk about your academic abilities. So maybe you're an A+ student. Um, you submit your assignments in time. You go the extra mile. You support the department in other aspects. Maybe do some volunteering activities for the department and all the like. So, or maybe you have helped in teaching before or whatever. So you want to choose that. And if you're choosing a professional reference, an HR in your office can write a reference for you. If you're working in a structured organization, the HR can be a good person to write a reference for you. Also, and they can, talk about the appraisals, previous appraisals, what the organization thinks about you and all that. Also, your direct supervisor is also a good person to write a reference about for you. And this makes a lot of sense because your direct supervisor can easily talk about your abilities, your achievements, and the likes of that. So, but it is always good to have a academic reference. It's better. But if you're in that position where you cannot get an academic reference, which I believe is almost impossible, there's always, you went to school, you can always contact your school again to write a reference for you. So if you're in that position, it's okay to have a work reference. So that makes sense too. But also make sure that your referees are writing the reference for you on an official document. I mean, a letter-headed document, signed and maybe with a seal. A seal is not always very important, but yeah, a letter-headed paper is good, and they are using an official email. Some schools don't mind. A few schools though, they don't mind if you are using a Gmail or Outlook mail or AOL mail, but some schools specifically will tell you to use an official email. That means at the name of the company .com.ng how you wherever .uk wherever. So make sure they are submitting your reference in an official format, so it looks authentic. That's the idea. So having talked about that, what should the content of your reference look like, and how should you approach it? Especially people from Africa. I'm from Africa myself, so I know the challenges in getting references and the kind of relationship students have with their professors in the department, and it's kind of different from the Western world. So writing your reference might be tricky, and it might be, I consider it the most difficult part of grad school application, especially people that are applying to multiple schools. It can be very difficult. I had my own fear of challenges when I was doing my own grad school application, so it's not something I want to share now, but yeah, so you want to make sure, I always encourage people to write the reference yourself. Yeah, why I say this, and I'm going to explain that in just a minute. Write a reference yourself, because sometimes professors are very busy and the deadline for your application might be closer than you think, and a lot of people are contacting them to write a reference for them, and you don't want to be in that position where reference will be the determining factor where you lose the admission. So if you depend on them to always write a reference for you, you might be shooting yourself in the leg, in the sense that they might not have the time to write a good reference for you. They might copy and paste something they've written for someone else and just change the name and make some mistakes. And even if they don't make mistakes, they might just write something that is not well detailed and specific enough for you. So if you write your reference yourself, and a draft, talk about the things you have done. Perhaps you have supported the department in a certain way. You have represented the department in external competitions. You have, talk about your achievements. Maybe you have led, you have leadership, qualities. You talk about the important things you have done, the things that the professor or someone that is writing your reference for you might miss out, or they might not know about you, or they might not know that you have done. So send it to them and let them review it and edit it and add what they want to add to it and put a professional touch to it. This way, you are certain that they are writing something that is good for you. Yeah, so you don't want to be in that position. If you are from the Western country and you're from a school in the United States or in the United Kingdom, you might not have this issue. Or yeah, if you're from schools in China too, yeah, you might not have this issue because yeah, the department basically know most of the students and they have this kind of cordial relationship with students and they might write something healthy for you, but if you're from countries like Africa and not every school, but this if you're from there, you might be able to relate to what I'm trying to say. It's good to write your reference yourself, and I'm just sending it to them, write a draft, tell them that you have a draft, and that will even make them enthusiastic about submitting it for you, because it reduces the headache they have of trying to think about what should I write for this boy. It might be difficult. So have a draft and send it to them and let them do the writing, the finishing touches, and the grammar. Sometimes they might want to send it to you and see, oh, is it okay? Is there something you want to add? Is there something I'm missing out that you think we could add? And that will help you to make sure your reference is top notch and they are covering everything that you are capable of doing. So yeah, that's it about referencing. And always make sure you submit your application in time and your reference in time, because there's this thing about applications. People who it's just psychological. People who submit an earlier application and once the review starts and review of the documents start, if they find someone that is great already, a great student, a great catch, it's difficult for them to change their mind because someone is submitting late. And once someone has made up his mind, oh, I like this, maybe professors have already made up their mind, oh, I like the students, because once the application comes in, they send it to all the faculty members to see who they would like to work with. And if they already found someone great they want to work with and just come in later, it might be difficult for them to change their mind. So always submit your application early. Don't wait for the deadline before you submit your application. So always make sure you submit your application early. So it helps you to, if you do a reference draft, send it to your referee to look at it for you. It makes it fast track the process. So yeah, so that's it about referencing. And if you have any specific question about reference letters or how it works, what you should write, what it should contain, you can drop it in the comment section. I'll be happy to review the questions and answer them as soon as possible. So yeah, if you think this video is great, like, subscribe, comment, and watch out for other videos. Also, you can share with your friends and loved ones and people you think that can benefit from this conversation. So see you later, and we'll be talking about other topics as it relates to graduate school admission. So have a great week, have a great day, and have fun wherever you're watching from. See you later. Bye.